Hello, good evening, and welcome to News 360 from the News Hub here in Accra. My name is Esi Benewanyame.
And my name is Isamoni. We have the headlines for tonight coming up in a moment. Now, Ghana Black Stars through to semi-finals in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Gabon.
Kintampo waterfalls on the verge of extinction. We'll bring you more on that. Residents
of Bechile want to regularize their land documents or have their property demolished.
Well, also later on in the bulletin, we'll also tell you how the popular Sunday food, rice balls known as omuto, is catching lots of attention.
And on the foreign front, British Prime Minister Theresa May tells her Foreign Secretary and Home Secretary to contact their U.S. counterparts about travel ban imposed by President Trump. Details of these and more coming up shortly. This is News 360. Please stay with us. Right, this is News 360, and as you all may be aware now, Ghana has won the quarterfinals against DR Congo by beating them with 2-1. So it's a big day in Ghana, celebrations all over the place. But we all know the two boys who scored the goals, Jordan Ayew and, of course, Andre Ayew, come from their father, Abedi Pede, lives in the East Legon area. No wonder. We have Solace Rose Quarty, is one of our reporters here, and she's around the community, and she will bring us the feedback from that area. Solace?
I'm here with some of the fans, and I want to pick their thoughts on exactly how the match went. Barbara, you're the only girl here in the first place. Obviously, you love football. Exactly. Yeah. But, okay. Obviously, they are very excited. 2-1. Was there a scoreline you expected?
No, I was expecting 1-0.
1-0. The one-goal project.
Yes. So when the opponent scored us, I wanted to cry. Then the penalty came. Then I was excited again.
Okay, so we've won this match. We're meeting Cameroon in the next set. We've taken the third position, the third space in the semi-final. So what are your thoughts when we meet Cameroon? What do you think will happen?
Oh, I hope when you meet Cameroon, everything will be okay.
It will be fun.
Yes.
How many goals?
We are going to score about 3-0.
Okay, now coming into the tournament, we've had people not really feeling excited about the tournament and about the Black Stars. Okay, but do you think winning this match has made them maybe more committed to their team?
Yeah, I think so. But we have to improve upon our game because our game is slow. So we're gonna have to improve upon our game, then we can win. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about the whole match so far? Do you think that the team we have right now can win the African Cup of Nations?
Hopefully, yeah, we can win. Why not?
What do you guys say? Sing for the Black Stars.
Ose Blaster.
From us here at Okponglo, I hope you are also excited about this. We meet Cameroon. The next match is who do we have for the next match? No, we have Burkina Faso, we have Cameroon, and then we have Ghana. We have one more slot. Who do you think will fill the next slot?
It will be the Cameroon.
All right, so that's pretty much it. Obviously, they are only interested in the Ghana match, and that's fine. So over to you in the studio.
Big public reaction about the win from the East Legon area, and you're watching News 360. I'm sure there will be more to come this hour. AC.
Well, excitement everywhere. And let's move on. The Kintampo Waterfalls, one of the country's tourism pride, is at the verge of extinction. Perennial and incessant bushfires continue to destroy the vegetation cover around the national asset. A report by Larry Parkwisi Moses.
The Kintampo Waterfall site is about 3 kilometers away from the Kintampo town, and it takes tourists less than 15 minutes to drive from the town to the place. The waterfall runs through a rocky terrain in 3 stages. At the first stage, water is seen falling from a height onto rocks, leaving no room for people who may want to cool off. In between the first and third stage lies the second stage of the waterfalls that runs along a narrow stream. It takes tourists to walk through 152 steps on a stairway down to the third stage of the waterfall. There is a pool of water at the base of the waterfall for people who may want to cool off. A tourist from Kuwait, Dina Al Amadi, expressed delight at the scene.
One of the biggest waterfalls in Ghana, so I'm really privileged and I'm really happy to be able to come see it. I'm here for a very short time, but I'm happy that I got the opportunity to see it before I leave. And this is by far one of the most beautiful waterfalls I've ever seen.
It is, however, worrying to see that the luxurious vegetation cover around the basin of the waterfall is fast disappearing as a result of bush burning. Many fear the situation, if not checked, may soon render the waterfall totally dry. Indigents called for immediate action to restore the natural vegetation covering surrounding waterfall for the benefit of future generations. The Kintampo waterfall is a few meters away from the Kintampo-Tamale Trunk Road. A local entrepreneur, Emmanuel Amwatin, has put up a hospitality facility to serve both tourists and travelers.
The distance which travelers take from Kumasi to the north and vice versa, we're looking at the time that the drivers take to reach their destination. I felt we should have a place for drivers to rest.
And the chief of Gbechile, Nite Kojo I, has warned residents who have illegally encroached on stool lands in the community near Michel Camp to regularize their land documents with the stool or face a court action or have their property demolished. Now, the action, according to the chief, was to prevent the massive encroachment and depleting of the lands in the area.
Gbechile is one of the fastest developing areas in the Kpung traditional area. More settlements keep springing up, yet few people have proper land documents, according to the chief of the area. Many have also bought lands from unauthorized landowners.
The Gbechile stool therefore entreats all residents of Gbechile who have built on parcel or portion of Gbechile lands but do not have documents from the stool to report to the Gbechile stool immediately for regularization of their interest in the lands. Any person or group of persons who fail to comply could have themselves to blame when the stool institutes a court action against them and there is an order for demolition of their buildings.
The chief of the area, Nite Kojo I, was also worried about land guards' activities and alleged rape cases which have put residents in fear.
The activities of these terrible land guards are centered on the boundaries with Apollonia and within Gbechile's two lands. These activities have been several times reported to the police, yet no arrests are made. We call on the police to intensify their security patrols around the community and to protect lives and property.
He alleged that about 600 acres of their land bonded by Apollonia, which Zoom Lion and Sino Africa Development claimed to have procured and walled, were not released by the Gbechile stool, who are the custodians.
In a related development, some youth in the Fo community in the Sanerigu district of the northern region are up in arms against the Fo chief for selling of a land earmarked for construction of a public toilet and a refuse dump site. The youth are demanding the chiefs to relocate a new land to a private developer or incur thereof.
The Fo community has only one public toilet that serves both indigents and visitors. The youth alleged 6 plots of land was earmarked by the late chief of Fo, Na Nindo, some years ago for the construction of a public toilet and the dumping of refuse. The land is allegedly being sold now by the brother and children of the current chief of Zimblimtia to a private developer. Chief Zimblimtia, who is yet to be unskinned, together with his nephews and leaders of the youth, came to a consensus that 4 out of the 6 plots be sold to raise money to service a palace vet. An assurance was given by the palace not to tamper with the remaining 2 plots. However, the youth discovered it has been sold. The buyers seem to have moved to the site as our cameras captured some blocks on the site on Saturday morning.
We agreed to sell the 4 plots after the chief told us he owed somebody. Now they are telling us they need money to perform the funeral of the late Fo chief Abu, but we will not agree on this one. We have only one public toilet for us and visitors. The community is too big for only one toilet. If they are going to earmark another plot for that, then we will agree, but if not, then we are telling the buyer to go for his money.
Chief Zimblimtia, who spoke off camera, revealed he was given the green light to sell the land by the chief of Kanvali after informing him of his challenges and that he is not earmarking any plot for the construction of the public toilet.
Our reporter has been following the predicament of a paralyzed, raped victim whose obedience led her into the arms of a wrong person. Now oblivious of the intentions of a playmate's father, poor Mavis obeyed the instructions of 30-year-old Paul Ademan, who brutally raped her. Peter Kwadato has more.
It was a fine morning in October 2013 in Pantime village near Teman in the Ga East municipality of the Greater Accra region. Then 13-year-old primary 5 pupil Mavis Asekuma was going about her household chores. She was in the afternoon shift. The weather changed all of a sudden as thick clouds formed and moving at a fast pace across the skies. Scared about the approaching storm, the wife of 35-year-old accused rapist Paul Ademan pleaded with Mavis to go and inform her children to stay away from school. The rain set in while she was delivering the message to her playmates. Paul rushed in from the bathroom and asked Mavis to stay until the rains were over. And this turned out to be the turning point of her life. Paul Ademan brutally raped and warned her never to tell anyone. But Mavis reported the incident to her sister and the woman who sent her. The next day, Mavis reportedly fell at school and became paralyzed both in the limb and arms.
3 days time when I went to school, I felt some pain. So when I came home, I felt that one leg is paining me. That's why, and my waist, there's something is removed. That's why I cannot walk.
Paul went into hiding in the eastern region for 2 years. Intensified police investigation led to his arrest in January 2016. Paul Ademan changed his plea to guilty at the gender-based violence court after months of trial. But sentencing was delayed because the Accra Psychiatric Hospital failed to produce medical report on the accused since September 2016. Preliminary medical examination revealed she suffered damaged spine and hip bones. She was to produce 822 cedis for further examination to diagnose and inform a surgery.
She will remain in this condition unless help comes from somewhere.
She struggled each day in this makeshift compound.
As of now, we don't have money to solve that case, so we want the Ghanaian people to help us.
Earlier, TV3 expose of her plight attracted the attention of a local church which donated her with a wheelchair and enrolled her back in school. Mavis is now in primary 3 because she could no longer write properly. A concerned neighbor, XW01 Kwesi, popularly known as Area Papa Owari, called for public support.
The condition of the medical is going through. In fact, the cost is too high. and the family alone cannot. So if we get some philanthropies to assist.
Until then, Mavis Asakuma will remain here with that hope.
Well, let's move on. Many have questioned the credibility of Parliament as members are battling to substantiate a bribery allegations level against the Appointments Committee. The following report takes a look at the developments so far with the accusations and counter-accusations.
Parliament on January 20 began the vetting of President Akufo-Addo's nominee for various ministerial positions. On January 23, Boakye Jakun, who was then minister nominee for the Energy Ministry, appeared before the vetting committee. After the vetting, names of some nominees were released for approval, excluding the names of Ya Osafo Mafo and Boakye Jakun. Reasons for withholding Boakye Jakun's approval were attributed to some allegations of perjury. He was asked to furnish the committee with information over certain claims he made about the purchase of 3 floating storage and regasification units. This took a different dimension when the MP for Boku Central, Mahama Yerga, alleged on an Accra-based radio station that Boakye Jakun bribed the minority side of the vetting committee with an amount of 3,000 cedis to facilitate his approval. Reactions after the allegation created doubts as to the authenticity of Mahama Yerga's claim. According to Mahama Yerga, the minority chief whip Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak received the money on behalf of the minority from the chairman of the committee, Joseph Oseusu. The chief whip denied receiving any money from the chairman of the committee. Boakye Jakun, in his denial of the allegation, threatened to take legal action. The majority leader, Osechi Mensah Bonsu, added his voice to the allegation. Parliament as a body also issued a statement denying any incident of bribery in the House. TV3 will continue to follow and bring you more details as the story unfolds.
And the appointment of COP David Asante Epietu as the Inspector General of Police has been received with mixed reactions. It was, however, clear that his expertise on the job as well as his professionalism are badly needed to enable him succeed.
Prior to his appointment, there have been wild speculations about who takes over from John Kudalo as IGP. At least 4 names, COPs David Asante Epietu, James Opombuenu, Frank Edupoku, and Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare led the race. The president, Nana Akufo-Addo, on Wednesday appointed COP David Asante Epietu as acting IGP. The announcement attracted several interpretations from a cross-section of the public.
It's only my hope that he would bring his experience to bear, and it should go beyond the political leaning. It is also my prayer and hope that he lives in the bad culture of impunity in the country.
Is somebody approachable and somebody who's ever ready to teach or to impart his knowledge to somebody who comes to him. So I think the president has made a good choice. Instead of even making him acting, he should just confirm him.
Commissioner David Asante Epietu was born on August 14, 1957. He joined the Ghana Police Service on August 1, 1988 as cadet officer, graduating in February 1989. He holds an executive MBA from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GEMPA, certificate in Criminal Justice Administration from the University of Virginia, USA, and a degree in chemistry from the Kharkov State University, USSR. Until his appointment, he was Director General in charge, ICT and Marine Policing Unit with vast experience in policing duties both home and abroad. The former Director General CID also served as Director of Crime Analysis at the Interpol headquarters, Lyon, France. David Asante Epietu undertook courses in project planning and management in Lyon, France, advanced training in chemical weapons in Switzerland, and combating counterfeiting and piracy in Dubai. The acting IGP has since 2015 been a part-time lecturer in General Forensic Sciences and Firearms and Ballistic Science at KNUST Kumasi. The new acting police chief is multilingual, speaks English, Russian, French, Twi, and Ga.
And restoring order where young persons.
Let's still stay with the police service. TV3 can confirm that 17 senior police officers and 18 junior officers have been transferred by the Acting Inspector General of Police, David Asante-Apietu, with immediate effect. This follows the reassignment of the Director General of CID, COP Prosper Kwame Ablom, and his deputy on Friday, January 27. The 17 senior officer ranks include 2 chief superintendents, 3 superintendents, 3 deputy superintendents and 9 assistant superintendents. The affected junior police officers include the 5 chief inspectors, 2 inspectors, 1 general sergeant and 6 corporals and 5 general constables. A major shake-up is also expected to hit the main administration staff in the coming days, along with more general transfers.
And in staying with the police service, it has emerged that COP Patrick Timbila was retired prematurely from the police service. Credible sources within the police top hierarchy indicate his premature departure, however, entitles him to all his retirement package.
The interdicted former Director General of Police Human Resource Development, COP Patrick Timbila, has been removed from the Ghana Police Service after 2 years of investigations into the 2015 recruitment scam. The police administration has since declined to give details. According to a source, COP Timbila was only retired prematurely, adding he is going home with all his retirement benefit. Per the police structure, a person sacked forfeit his entitlement irrespective of their rank. Security analyst Sani Adib thinks his removal was a right decision.
The laws, of course, should bite. I cannot downplay his role in policing in Ghana. He's done a lot, but it still doesn't justify you doing the wrong thing. It's a bitter pill we have to swallow to send signals to not just officers of the police service, but to the general population. And it should go beyond the sack. He should be made to go through the court process.
COP Patrick Edin Timbila was asked to step aside following a massive police recruitment fraud in February 2015. A special task force set up to investigate the matter found the police couple culpable, leading to his interdiction in March the same year. The docket on the case was subsequently forwarded to the Attorney General's Department for advice. Persons alleged to have teamed up with the police couple in the scandal were later granted bail by the Accra Circuit Court pending the Attorney General's advice on their docket. The police administration had also activated its internal structures to scrutinize his alleged involvement in the scandal for appropriate action.
I think that there is a rule of law, and that is what we always say. So if it is within the law, I think that the law has to take its course.
So long as you are guilty, you are guilty. The law should work. I think that if he is found guilty and he's been relieved of his case, let's be law-abiding citizens. I think that we should respect it. He should go and learn his lessons. Probably.
Now, government has announced plans to reduce its share of mining royalties from 80 to 70%, while doubling the community share from 10 to 20%. The additional 10% will be disbursed to local assemblies to drive specific development infrastructure in mining communities.
Minister nominee for Lands and Natural Resources John Peter Amewu, in a speech read on behalf of the President, reiterated government's commitment to double royalties paid in mining communities in the country. This, he said, will ensure more value is retained in mining communities for development. Close to 1,150,000 people, including children from 3 communities of Esoja North, Fetish and Trawiwa, are to be affected by the operations of Perseus Mining Ghana Limited. The company completed a $30 million Edikan estate at a Yamfuru Krofrum to resettle the residents. The estate comprises 201 structures, including residential dwelling, detached kitchens, as well as religious and commercial buildings. It also includes over 29 public structures of schools, health facilities, police station, quarters for teachers, nurses and police personnel, as well as a fully furnished palace for the chief of the area. The company also constructed a 6.8 kilometers drainage facility, extension of overhead power lines, street lights, a robust small town water distribution system supplied by 2 mechanized boreholes. Residents were excited about the resettlement package.
This place is far better than where we were staying before. We are pleading with the company to at least try their possible best to complete all the rules for us so that we will feel comfortable.
Board chairman of the company Nanapra Ajinsem and general manager Stephen Kofi Ndede called on occupants to make good use of the facilities. Chief Executive Officer of Percy Jeff Kotamin said the company established the Decan Trust Fund to help provide financial resources for sustainable development of the communities.
I can confirm today the high value that we at Perseus place on our social licence to operate here in Ghana and in the Iron Fury district in particular. This means that we are committed to working with the traditional authorities and the district assemblies to achieve the goal of sustainable development in our catchment communities.
This is News 360. Now, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia has expressed the hope of strengthening Ghana's bilateral bonds with the Indian government. He was speaking at the inauguration of Festival of India in Ghana to commemorate 6 years of diplomatic relations between both countries.
India-Ghana relations were established by Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, upon attainment of independence. The Festival of India Maitri was inaugurated at the National Theatre to kickstart celebrations to mark 60 years of bilateral relations between Ghana and India. In his opening address, Indian High Commissioner to Ghana, Birender Singh Yadav, said the Indian government is hopeful that the relationship it shares with Ghana will deepen in the coming years.
With the aim of facilitating friendlier and easier exchange of people's movement, Your Excellency, India included Ghana in the electronic travel authorization scheme, wherein Ghanaian nationals can obtain online authorization for short travel to India for tourism, medical consultation, and exploratory business purposes.
Vice President Bawumia, who was the special guest of honor at the inauguration, noted India plays a vital role in Ghana's economic development.
I wish to state with profound gratitude that since the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between our two countries, India has remained a true friend of Ghana and has played and continues to play a highly supportive role in practically all sectors of the Ghanaian economy, including education, agriculture, health, trade, and culture, which this festival aptly represents.
Dr. Bawumia, who was accompanied by the Festival of India in a traditional Indian style by lighting a flame. The program saw beautiful performances from the Lok Shanda Culture Unit, which performed different classical and traditional Indian dance forms, including the Odissi, Manipuri, yoga, and other contemporary dance moves. The group will also perform at the Center for National Culture in Kumasi on Tuesday, January 31. On February 20 to 26, a film festival will be held at India House in Accra with a closing ceremony. On February 24 to 26, a film festival will be held at India House in Accra with a closing ceremony of the festival taking place on March 11 at the National Theatre in Accra.
And you're watching News 360, and still to come.
We will tell you how the popular Sunday food, rice balls, also known as omutu, is catching lots of attention. We'll be right back. Well, now let's whet your appetite now. The popular food one can have on Sunday afternoon when in Ghana is rice balls, popularly known as omuto in a local dialect. Odelia Ajman Prempe takes us to some omuto joints in Accra.
It was 2 p.m. Sunday, and people, obviously after church services, were trooping in and out of some omuto joints in Accra. At Nsunyameye in Dansoman, owners cashed in. Henry Abeka told the news team the only food he prefers on Sunday is omuto, and he cannot afford to miss it.
If I don't eat omuto on a Sunday, it means my Sunday is not complete.
At Della Home Cook, customers came with family and friends, and the most purchased food was omuto. Nelly Adasu says on daily basis she eats other meals, but reserves omuto for Sundays. And the best time to eat it is in the afternoon, she says.
I eat omuto on Sundays because I don't have time to prepare it often.
Omuto has over the years been a special food for Sundays afternoons, and most people prefer to eat it outside their homes with friends and loved ones. A cook, Felicia Asantua, said omuto usually gets finished by 1 p.m.
Omuto I used to by 12 o'clock to 1 nasa.
Omuto finish faster than any other food because of the numbers that patronize it.
Well, there seemed to be no end in sight for the Sunday omuto special, and those who have not joined may want to do so next week.
Well, let's leave the comments for another day. 2 wells at close range situated at the Millilord fuel station at Kukrantumi in the East Achim municipality of the Eastern region had contents of suspected petrol in them after checks by the fire service. Now, residents who live there and who rely on this source of water now walk several miles to access potable water for domestic and commercial activities.
Residents detected the unusual oily substance from the well 2 months ago. This prompted them to report to owners of the filling station, who were reluctant to respond to the issue.
I fetched water from the well to wash my hands when I noticed some oily substance that smelled like kerosene. But the filling station owners said they had not noticed any leakage on their tanks to cause this. We now live in fear.
Owners of the company would not readily accept the leakage is from their facility, but is ready to comply with the fire service to sell old stock for assessment by the National Petroleum Authority and the fire service.
I've reported to my top people, so they will soon come and just rectify this issue for us. It can take 2 weeks or a week to finish it.
The Eastern Regional Fire Service Commander, ACOP Joshua Nuga, promised it would ensure that the place is closed down, but after the facility sells out their product within a week.
We realize that the more we keep the product down there, the more the product sinks down. It will be an economic disaster to the plants and weeds that we have around. So there's going to be a mutual understanding for them to sell off the products down there so that both tanks will be empty. Then we will seal off the station till the necessary steps are taken.
As a temporary measure, a foam component has been introduced into the well to avoid any fire outbreak.
If should anybody introduce any naked light to the well, there wouldn't be anything like flame or something to burn.
As of Thursday, January 27, the fuel station had in stock 24,950 litres of petrol and 12,900 of diesel.
And students of Achim Swedro Senior High School in the Brim South District, South Municipality of the Eastern Region, have received a water facility from some old students of the school. Residents had to join long queues and compete with residents of the community to fetch water, a situation which reduced learning hours.
The Achim Swedro Senior High School has an enrollment of 2,236, with female students in the majority. Since its inception some 46 years ago, access to potable water had consistently been a challenge. The location of the girls' dormitory block on a hill compounded the problem. Female students spent several hours in queues, while others had to go outside the campus in search of the water. Hawa Yusuf Osman, a student, expressed delight over the new water facility.
There is no tap here, and when you go to the borehole, you have to form a queue to get water. Since you have no option, you have to wait, and by the time you get the water and you report to class, it's almost late, and which affects your academic work.
The headmaster of the school, Michael Anumale Danwono, is confident the new water project will contribute to improvements in the academic performance of students.
They have to go and fetch water for the kitchen to bath and then fetch water for their seniors, especially the Form 1s. They don't have time for classes. So now that we have water on campus, these things are all things of the past.
An old student and president of Ghanaian community in Belgium, Kweku Boama, expressed the hope the provision of the water facility would enhance and promote a better teaching and learning environment.
Instead of resting and then maybe studying, all free times were used for collecting water. Now that problem is solved. So it's going to help them to get better grades.
And let's move into health now. The Ghana Association for the Study of Liver and Digestive Diseases is advocating a nationwide campaign to increase public awareness on the spread of hepatitis B. The national president of the association, Dr. Mary Yeboah Efini, is worried between 10 and 15% of Ghanaian adults with chronic hepatitis B are not aware of their conditions.
The Ghana Association for the Study of Liver and Digestive Diseases indicate about half of hepatitis B patients contract the disease before age 5, but detection and treatment could delay until about 45 years after extensive damage to the liver. Health experts in the Ashanti and Bunuafu regions have been attending a workshop to drive the campaign to increase public awareness on the spread of hepatitis B and C. National President of the Ghana Association for the Study of Liver and Digestive Diseases, Dr. Yeboah Efini, warned the country risks losing most of its productive youth to hepatitis if no action is taken immediately to stem the tide. The hematologist warned screening for the disease intensified to cover the entire populace for appropriate intervention.
It is on the increase, and we have talked about two ways of preventing the increase. In B is to do with vaccination and treatment of those who already have it. Number 2, C is treatment for those who have it, which is effective 12 weeks treatment.
A consulting hematologist at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, Dr. Babatunde explained the need for hepatitis B vaccine for every baby, even before they get regular vaccinations.
The people at the primary care to be aware of the good treatment that is available and to do it appropriately. Where they cannot do, they should refer to us.
He said the World Health Organization recommends the birth dose, but most health facilities are not heeding to the recommendation.
Now, residents of Adentan Sakura in the Adenta municipality of the Greater Accra region wants government to revive the concept of town councils to proactively check sanitation. They argue the assemblies have not been active in enforcing sanitation bylaws.
Residents undertook a clean-up exercise to improve sanitation in the community. The 4-hour clean-up exercise was highly patronized by children. Residents who took part were displeased with apathy shown by others. They suggested sanitation bylaws must be enforced by metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies.
The authorities in charge of enforcing the laws are weak. The laws were made because of the way people live their lives. And if the laws will be enforced, people will not be living the kind of lifestyle they are living.
They blamed the metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives for inability to enforce bylaws.
Ghanaians travel from Ghana and they go outside the country, and immediately because of the laws, they change their habits. But when they come back, because the laws are relaxed in this country, they begin to misbehave again. I go for National Prosecution Day than National Sanitation Day. If you prosecute the people, the sanitation will be there. I will clean before you come. Let's try it and see. It will work.
Organizers of the exercise teamed up with Zoomlion Ghana Limited to ensure a cleaner environment in the community.
We have more stories coming up. To entertainment now, and love is certainly in the air as Valentine's Day becomes. Talking about love, award-winning musician Kwabena says he has a special package for lovers on February 10.
Kwabena's love concert, a night of good music and dance, is expected to usher in the 2017 Vows Day.
That when it comes to love music, nobody sings it better than Kwabena. Valentine's Day is here with us, and you have a package for your fans.
Yes, the Valentine concert is coming up. This time we call it the Love Concert. So, loved ones, lovers, lovies, babies, guys, everybody, come, let's celebrate love.
The Love Concert is a must attend for all, especially lovebirds and couples.
Things we've packaged to start off the Valentine for you. So bring her in there, bring him in there before you give him or her the present on the 14th.
Talking about love, Kwabena has been in the news lately, not for the good reasons. Rumors suggest the singer's second marriage is on the verge of collapse.
Kwabena, you are bringing your loved one, you are bringing your wife along as well.
Of course, my wife will be there, everybody's going to be there, so bring your wives, bring your husbands.
They are saying Kwabena is playing a show for loved ones and he has a problem with his marriage.
It's crazy the way people talk, but then hey, on the 10th of February, come check this out.
A lot of people follow what you do and all that, and so they get worried when they read a whole lot of stuff about you, about the fact that you've not been able to keep your marriage and all that. Is that really the case?
What it is I'll tell you about one thing, brother. I've done lots from 2016 down to 2017. I've been releasing my new album, I've been releasing singles off the new album and all of that, but I didn't get anybody talking like this. So what is wrong with Ghanaians? I guess Ghanaians only want to feed on negativities. I guess so. Anyway.
Kwabena wants Ghanaians to be more interested in his music, not his marriage. Meet the Aso hitmaker and the Ohiabeya band on February 10 as he gives lovers a special treat.
Kwame will be performing, the Ohiabeya band will be performing, Manifest is performing, EL is performing. I didn't want to mention the names, but surely Becca will be there. It's good to love and love to love.
And that's from Kwabna. And that's what I'm going to for this edition of News 360. My name is Isa Moni.
And mine is AC Benewanyame.
And there's more football coming up. Big, tasty North African derby between Morocco and Egypt. Well, we've seen ours, the Black Stars. Thank you for watching, but stay with TV3. We'll be back.
It's Talented Kids Season 8. If you know you've got the